What's up, weirdos? I'm Felicia and I like scary movies, and today we are back with another episode of My 31 Days of Halloween, a video every single day in October. So today we're talking about Candy Corn. It is a new movie that just came out in select theaters and VOD. And I guess the first thing I'll say is, just like I talked about yesterday, I love movies that take place on or around Halloween. I like spooky things, I like pumpkins, and so I should have loved this movie. It's called Candy Corn, and even though I think candy corn is a waste of candy and just disgusting, no offense if you like candy corn, I'm really a chocolate person. Like as a child, I would just trade all candy that was not chocolate for candy that was chocolate. Candy Corn was written and directed by Josh Hastings, and okay, where do I start with this? The things that I thought were promising: it has a couple of horror icons in it. It has PJ Souls from Halloween and Carrie. It has Tony Todd from Candyman and Courtney Gaines from The Burbs and a lot of other movies. And from that I was like, okay, cool. And then I watched the trailer, and the trailer visually seems very exciting. There's like a carnival and a freak show, and it's Halloweeny and spooky, and I thought, oh, very exciting. And then I watched it and I felt like I kept getting bored, which is a problem in a horror movie. And I think my biggest issue with this movie was just the premise. Okay, so I'll just read you the plot. It's Halloween weekend, and a group of bullies are planning their annual hazing on a local outcast, Jacob Atkins. When they take things too far, he is resurrected to seek revenge against those that wronged him. Okay, so that sounds fine, but when you get to the movie, you have a group of dudes and one girl who look like they're almost 30, if not 30s, and they are planning to haze this guy that they haze every year, who, according to some things I'm understanding on the internet, is like some sort of special needs. And from this plot, I understood that each year they would play like a trick on him. Like I was thinking trick or treat, that makes sense. But the hazing is literally just to like rough him up and to like push him around, which I don't understand, even for a bully, how that is an annual event. That premise doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, either this is someone that you bully all the time, but why would it be a Halloween tradition to just like go shove a dude? Like that doesn't make sense. Like it's not even a trick. It's nothing. It's just like, it's like a boring mean joke. Like mean jokes are one thing, but a boring mean joke? Come on. And so they accidentally kill this kid. He works at a carnival, and Dr. Death, who is like the ringleader of the carnival, he resurrects him and brings it back so he can kill all the people that killed him, which is fine. Like I'm usually down for a revenge story, but this one first of all, man, I feel like I'm ripping it a little bit, but the actors that are not the famous ones are quite bad, and we're spending most of the movie with them. PJ Souls, Tony Todd, they're barely in this movie. Like they have a couple of scenes, but they're really underutilized, and I totally understand like budget stuff of like they probably only had them for a day or 2 days or whatever it was. I get that, but even so, I just felt like their characters were like pretty unimportant, and it just felt like it was like just a cameo. Versus like utilizing those great actors. And then the actors that we did have, I felt were just not very good. And the characters were extremely underdeveloped, and so I didn't care about any of them. Even the kid that was killed, Jacob Atkins, like even him, like we barely spent any time with him before he died. We don't know anything about him. And so because we don't know anything about any of these characters, I'm just like waiting for the death scenes, right? So I'm just waiting for the kills. And even the kills were just, I know this is a low budget movie, but they just didn't feel surprising or exciting to me or like anything new. And this movie definitely is like, I can tell that this director loves scary movies. Even at the beginning credit sequence, like he is literally fully ripping off the Halloween credit sequence, which is fun. Like I can see he's doing it on purpose. But it just felt like such a general movie in terms of character and plot that I felt bored through it, and I kept like zoning out, which is not what you want for a horror movie. That being said, the things I did like about it, I thought it was pretty well shot. I thought the art direction was really cool. Like I loved the carnival. I thought that was really exciting. I really liked a lot of the makeup. For example, we have Pancho Moller, who plays Dr. Death. He looks like this This is such a cool character. I really liked everything about his look. He looks very spooky. He looks like a ringleader. He looks like a guy that would run a freak show. He looks awesome. And then when we have Jacob come back from the dead, he's resurrected with this sort of pumpkin face mask thing. And even that, I was like, I know it's a mask, but like it looks pretty cool. Like I was excited about that. But I just felt like I especially like the second half of the movie, I was just like, by then I was like, why am I like not really following? And then the sheriff was supposed to be like a big character in this movie. That's the character played by Courtney Gaines. And I just felt like I was like bored by him trying to solve this thing. Like it didn't feel exciting to me. And I feel bummed because I really wanted to like this movie. It was sort of lackluster for me, honestly. But I am, of course, just one person. If you are interested in candy corn, I will link the movie down below. I do not want to discourage people from watching it because I can tell it's a movie a lot of people worked really hard on, and there are some cool things about it for sure. It just, for me, as a full film, in terms of the plot I'm following, the characters I'm following on screen, I felt just a little bored. But a lot of the visual stuff is fun, and the aesthetic of the movie is really fun. All the homages to other 80s horror movies, 80s and 70s horror movies that are really fun. And it's cool to see Tony Todd doing something. It's cool to see PJ Soles on screen. I feel like you don't typically see her anymore. But you know, it wasn't my favorite thing I've seen so far. In terms of a Halloweeny movie, obviously, if you can tell, I preferred Haunt, which is the movie I reviewed yesterday. But it still might be worth checking out, so I'll link it down below for you guys. Let me know if you've already seen it or are planning on seeing it, and I will see you in my next video. Have a nice scream. Bye.